BiasBusters is a student-led organization that's focused on promoting diversity and inclusion in the EECS community at Berkeley.
So BiasBusters primarily works by putting on workshops for people to talk about implicit bias and stereotype threat and other kind of psychological factors around our environment, just to kind of focus on how we could, work on building something that's more inclusive for everybody so that they don't face having implicit biases or having some stereotype threat that then makes them less productive in their environment. The reason we wanted to start this in EECS is because we kind of looked around and noticed that, we only have about 20% of our department are women. We have pretty low representation of Hispanic and African-American people and people of other, minorities. And a lot of people most of the time kind of blame this on, the pipeline. Oh, there's just not enough people coming into the department. There's really nothing we can do about that. But a lot of us were just kind of like, hey, we're smart people at a cool place. We should be able to do something about this. Like, we can't just say, oh, well, I guess when I'm a professor, we'll recruit better and it'll work out, in the future. But we said we want to make a change now.
Something that one could do to have a better environment in our department is to always remind themselves that their background or their upbringing is not the only one. In such a collaborative climate, there are people from various different walks, as Nate said. And just to have that in mind itself is, I think, a step in the right direction.
Anecdotally, I feel like this stuff really does matter because one of the big decisions of why I came to Berkeley was the fact that QUICSI exists, which is Queers in Computer Science and Engineering. And it really made a difference to me that there was a group that really showed that, I was going to be cared for and could really be myself at the university.
I would like groups like BiasBusters to have more impact in different activities or different aspects of our department, like hiring of professors, hiring of grad students, and so on, so that our recruiting committees are more mindful of these diversity and inclusion aspects of recruitment.
I think a lot of people wonder why exactly we need BiasBusters in a place like Berkeley, where, we are a pretty awesome place. Like, let's put it in this, it's pretty great. But the thing is, we did our research before starting this, and we talked to different people, and we tried to figure out really what the issues were that they were seeing. And there are problems in the department where people are kind of getting lost in their PhDs or in their undergrads and are ending up leaving prematurely when they don't necessarily need to. And that's a really sad thing to see because, these are great people. They made it to Berkeley. They should be able to have an environment that supports them. What we're trying to get people to do is to talk about diversity and inclusion and to think about them in places where they wouldn't otherwise. But then there can also be kind of larger actions that people can take by, making it clear in the different committees they sit on or when designing classes that they think that diversity and inclusion is important, that having good engineering ethics is important. Academia has been around for a long time and it has a lot of weight in its age, and that's great, but there's just some things that kind of need to be challenged and changed going forward.